Hey everyone! Finally finished my journal. So I started this as and when I bought my new kit out, Spring Joy. The journal, the insides came together quite nicely, and the cover. I sat staring at the cover all day, and it was like, oh, I don't know what to do with it. And then finally, I saw something. And I thought, oh, and so it took about an hour once I'd already painted it, but it took about an hour to decorate it before it was like, oh, silly me. Right, so it is a hardcover journal, 6 by 8 3/4. We have 1 3/4 inch spine. So the front of it is, this is actually an image from the kit that I've printed onto tissue paper, and then I've decoupaged it on the front, which is a whole different conversation because my normal glue, this stuff, I can't get for love nor money at the moment. So I was having a route around and came across a really old blog about using PVA. And I thought, oh, I'm not a fan of PVA glue, but let's give this a go. And so watered it down, and do you know what? It's probably better than my expensive proper glue. So, but that's a whole different conversation, and I've been looking into it and the different uses, and it's like, ooh, so maybe a completely different video next week. So, image, decoupage, printed onto tissue paper, then decoupaged onto the cover. Then I've used the paint that I've used, or the same colours that I used to paint the cover, and I've just blended in the couple of corners. This is texture paste, and there's a bit of stamping on it, and then because it looked quite dark, so what I've done is I've actually drawn round the leaves and the flowers in a black fine liner, and then I've gone over the highlighted bits of the flowers with a white Posca pen, like an ink-based pen. And then we have some butterflies on the front just to break it up a little bit, I'm thinking. So we have this is raised, like a raised cover. There is a little bit of gilding wax on here. I don't know if you can, yeah, that's it. And then the back, I've just done a bit of stamping. There we go. A bit of stamping on the back just to break it up a bit. Right. Seam binding, coloured seam binding for the fastener. So if we go inside, there's 144, 148 pages, something like that. I have a page marker. I put them in, and then I always forget to mention them. So I've gone with the whole craft thing, which is what this paper and the kit is. So the inside, that is craft paper that I've just used texture paste. I've got texture paste on the brain. Distressing. This is the offcutter, actually, of the paper, and I've heat embossed it with black. So stamped, then heat embossed, and then I've actually used watercolours to fill the flowers in. That's a tag I've made up for it, so blank on the back. Decoupage again, stamped, and then heat embossed butterflies, but this time I've actually used markers. It was a mix of cheapy and Tombow markers just to colour them in. I have to say that was very therapeutic. So that's a tag, and then this is the new kit. So we have little cards and just some pages I put together. Lots of stamping in this one, and I've done it in a kind of plum type colour. Light enough that you can write over it, but dark enough to actually show up. And then we have little bits of book pages. Stamping. This is I've stuck to a theme for this one. Can you tell? Decoupage. Ooh, let me straighten that up. So we have a collage. So stamping, decoupage, and texture paste. Another little tag that I've coloured in. And the middle, yes, another one. Well, the other half of the bag with another tag. It is actually really effective, these are, as well as being good for your brain. I will apologise if there is any banging. We have new neighbours and they have embarked on a house improvement routine, I think is the only way of describing it. So we have more stamping, and this little bit of fabrics on the edge. Number 2, or 6 signatures, and this is the second one. So we have tags, that's part of the kit, and I've just sewn some seam binding onto the top of it. This is a page from the kit, and I've just fussy cut round it to make a big pocket. I've stuck with, like I say, with the craft paper, little note card. Lots of stamping. Edith Holden. This book, it's a German book, and I sort of found it in the depths of my bookcase, one of my bookcases. And when I actually come to take it out, well, I always have a look at the dates on them, and this one is over 100 years old, this book is. And it was actually stapled. I've never had a book that old that was stapled, albeit it was the staples themselves sort of were falling apart. Poem to the Dandelion. I have sort of tried to keep reasonably to the beginning of the year, and then sometimes you just sort of go, well, that looks nice. So we have another page from the kit which has been cut out, and then another little note card, bit more fabric, and signature 3. So this is another one of the tags that I've made up. They're all done with the same style, so they've all got decoupage in, heat emboss, a bit of stamping, and then I've coloured them all in. I don't know if it's picking up. There we go. Now you can see the heat embossing. And collage. And that's got a pocket on the back with yet another tag. Yep, I did go a bit mad with the tags. Book pages. And some little pages. I was a little concerned that this would turn out quite dark, but it's, I think it works quite well with the light and then the dark sort of elements that go with it, i.e. the craft papers. So we have another collage on the back. And signature 4, I think we're on to. So we have another tag. And some more pages. Angry Starling. We have something called murmurations round here, where the starlings sort of get together in huge flocks. Oh, that's another collage. I got a bit carried away with that one. So the murmurations are huge flocks, and they seem to swirl and make patterns in the sky. It is something to behold. Seabirds. signature 5. Another little card from the kit. I thought it was lacking birds, so there's a nice page on them. These are a couple of coin, well, I don't know. The colours seem right. Big envelopes that I've stuck together to use as a page. This is acrylic paint, which I've put through a stencil. Used a sponge, you know, one of those little makeup sponges, and just use a couple of tones of paint on it. And the centre. And that's the other half of the envelope. Bit more fabric. Another little card. And signature 6. So that's another tag. Oops. This collage I definitely did go OTT with. But you know, sometimes you get a bit, I get a bit carried away with the collages. So you've got everything from a wax seal to cardboard circles and loads of fabric. Oh, and now the RAF are coming over. Some book pages, that's another of the German book. And the centre. I thought I haven't done hard about putting this page in because some people don't like snails and what have you. I'm thinking, well, it's spring. Our garden gets overrun with the things. I don't use slug pellets, so for me it's beer. I think in a little saucer tends to attract them. Another ticket. And the back page. This is craft paper again, and I've heat embossed it. And I've watercolours and different colours to match the two flowers. One of these foxgloves, and I don't know what those are. So there we go. It will be listed for sale on my website. I will put a link below. Yeah, I will come back to the glue, to the PVA and the many different uses and all, but what do they say? Necessity is the mother of invention. That and Google search. It's a wonderful thing. Right, thank you very much for watching. You take care, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.